Friends, close your eyes and turn the wheel of time backward. Not 100 years, not even 1,000, but 65 million years into the past. Imagine a world untouched by humanity. No cities, no engines, no noise. Only endless primeval forests, towering mountains and colossal beasts whose footsteps made the very earth tremble. These creatures were the undisputed rulers of the world. Ancient monarchs that had dominated the land for over 160 million years. To them, this realm seemed eternal, unchallenged, unbreakable. When the thunderous roar of a tyrant predator echoed through the wilderness, all life froze in fear. Everything moved in its natural rhythm. It was a bright morning. Massive herbivores grazed peacefully while carnivorous hunters stalked their prey. None of them knew that high above, beyond the veil of the heavens, their doom was already racing toward them. In the cold darkness of the cosmos, a monstrous celestial stone, like a weapon forged by the gods themselves, was hurtling directly toward the world at unimaginable speed. That day began like any other, but it would end as the most horrifying catastrophe in the history of life. What truly happened on that day? How did creatures that ruled an entire world vanish in a single moment, reduced to ash? And how did something survive within that devastation? Something that would eventually lead to us? Tonight, we uncover the truth behind that ancient night of judgment. Fasten your seatbelt, because this journey will both terrify and astonish you. The story begins with the cursed moment scholars call the Day of Extinction. The incoming celestial body was roughly 10 to 15 kilometers wide, comparable to the height of the greatest mountains known to humankind. It raced through space at nearly 70,000 kilometers per hour, a speed so extreme it could circle the globe in moments. As it entered the planet's atmosphere, friction ignited it into a blazing sphere of fire. To the creatures below, it may have looked like a second sun, thousands of times brighter than the real one. Before they could comprehend what they were seeing, the object slammed into the region we now know near the Yucatan with a force beyond imagination. The impact released energy billions of times greater than the most destructive weapons humanity would ever create. The planet's crust was torn open, forming a crater nearly 180 kilometers wide and 20 kilometers deep. Within seconds came the first wave of destruction. Thermal radiation. A searing pulse of heat spread thousands of kilometers outward, incinerating forests and living creatures instantly. There was no chance to flee. Bodies vaporized where they stood. The ground itself melted, and the air became an inferno, as if the world had been thrown into a cosmic furnace. But this was only the beginning. The impact awakened forces deep within the planet. Oceans rose into monstrous waves taller than any tower ever built, drowning coastlines across the globe. Earthquakes beyond magnitude 10 shattered continents. The land split apart. Volcanoes erupted in chains, rivers of lava flowing in every direction. Yet fire and water were not the true killers. The real executioner was the choking veil of ash and dust thrown into the sky. Billions of tons of debris blasted into the upper atmosphere and then rained back down as burning meteors, igniting forests worldwide. The entire world burned. Then came the darkness. Ash clouds blotted out the sun completely. For months, perhaps years, daylight vanished. Even at noon, the world lay under a shroud of night, a frozen twilight, sometimes called a death winter. Without sunlight, plants could not survive. As vegetation died, the herbivores starved. When they perished, the predators followed, including the mightiest hunters. Temperatures plunged. A once lush and vibrant planet became a cold, barren graveyard. Those who escaped the flames suffocated in smoke. Those who survived the smoke starved. And those who endured hunger froze to death. A reign that lasted 160 million years ended in a geological heartbeat. More than 75% of all species vanished forever. But here lies the most astonishing twist in this dark tale. While giants ruled the surface, small creatures lived hidden underground. Tiny, rodent-like mammals, insignificant compared to the titans above them. When the world burned, they remained sheltered beneath the soil. Their small bodies required little food. They could survive on insects, seeds, and decaying matter. After the great beasts disappeared and the skies slowly cleared, these fragile survivors emerged into an empty world. No colossal predators remained to threaten them. The planet was theirs. Over millions of years, they evolved into countless forms of life, and eventually into humans. Think about that. If the celestial stone had missed, if it had arrived minutes later and struck the ocean instead, the ancient reptiles might still rule the earth today. Humanity might never have existed.